true according to the Bible. How we know that this is us according to the Bible? Watch this though. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Bring it up.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So he said, these be the words. This Bible is the words that he spoke to all Israel, right? Watch what he finna speak to Israel. Give me verse 68. Jump to verse 68.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So he's speaking to the Israelites, right? You're familiar with the story? He sent Moses into Egypt to tell Pharaoh to let the Israelites go, right? So he's speaking to the Israelites. After they got out of the wilderness and crossed the Red Sea, right? Into the wilderness. This is what he's told the Israelites. Read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So he told the Israelites, us. He said he's going to bring us to Egypt again. Egypt is synonymously with something else, which is what? Bondage. Because they was what? They was in slavery in bondage, right? In Egypt, right? So he's telling the Israelites, he said, this is going to happen again to us if we don't obey him. He said if we obey him, then these things won't come upon us. But he said if you don't obey him, this is something that's going to come upon you in the future, later on down the line, hundreds of years down the line, right? So listen up. Watch this.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Into slavery again.
With ships.
With ships. How did we get over here to America and scattered across the world? What was the transportation? On boats, right?
That's right.
Which you familiar with the the transatlantic slave trade? You familiar with that? You familiar with the what's the one here in Mobile? The Catilda. You familiar with that? Right, so that happened. Read that again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So he said he's going to bring us into Egypt again with ships, right? Right? That's in the Bible. Did that happen to us? Did this happen to everybody?
No, not everybody.
So who did it happen to? To us, right? It happened to us, right? So he said we were going to go into slavery on slave ships, on ships. That's true, right? That did come to pass, right? He said because if we don't obey him, this was going to happen to us. After he brought us out of Egypt when we was in slavery. You see what I'm saying? Read. You can put it down.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
So he said, thou shalt see your homeland no more again, which is Northeast Africa, which is Jerusalem. That's our homeland. Go ahead.
Now, because I'm getting ready to read them something. Now what they're doing.
Now you good. We want to make sure we ask you your question first. So you know, so he said we're going to go into slavery again. You know that happened to us, right? Right? That happened to us, right? So we continue reading.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
So he said we weren't going to see our homeland no more again. Once we got off those slave ships and scattered across the world over into Alabama, we never went back home. We still here, right? Read.
And there you shall be sold.
So he said, and there, when you got off those slave ships, scattered across the world, over here in Mobile, Alabama, when we got off those slave ships, just like here in Mobile, they got a ship. Right now it's called what? The Catilda, right? Right? That was a slave ship. He said, when we got off those slave ships, we were going to what?
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
So he said, we're going to be sold. He said, we're going to be sold, sis. Was we sold? Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro.
She listening. She asked me a question.
I just want to make sure. What's your name, sis? Huh? Just pay attention with me. He said, after we got off those slave ships, we was going to be sold, right? Was we not sold? Was our grandmother sold? Was our father sold? Our sisters and our brothers were sold, right? That happened to us. We was on auction blocks, right? So watch this, though. He said we're going to be sold, right? Read.
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
He said we're going to be sold into our enemies. What's that? Into our enemies, right? Right? So watch this. Jump to yeah, finish that up.
For bondmen.
So he said we're going to be slave men
and bond women
and slave women.
And no man should buy you.
And no man is going to redeem us. When we got put into slavery, we have never been redeemed, sis. We have never been redeemed. Jump to verse 48.
Hold on, sir. I got y'all.
Huh? All right, now watch this. So he said, after we got out those slave ships, right? We gonna be sold. We were sold, right? To our enemies, right? So we were sold to a nation of people, right? Did that happen to us? That happened to us, right? So he said, after we got off those slave ships, this is another curse. Watch this, sis. Pay attention. This is another curse that he said that was going to happen to us by disobeying him. This is how you're going to know, sis, that we are those people. Watch this.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 48.
Bring it up.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
So he said, once we got off those slave ships, we going to serve our enemies, right? Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
He said, which the Lord shall send against thee. He said, the Lord sent them against us. The Lord put us in slavery. Why? Because we disobeyed him. We disobeyed him. All right, just a second, sis. So he said, the Lord put us in slavery, sis, because we disobeyed him. He gave us laws, statutes, and commandments to keep. We broke them. When we broke them, just like you got kids, right? You got kids, right? All right. If your kids, you telling your kids, okay, I want you to keep your room clean, right? I want you to keep your room clean all week. If you keep your room clean all week, I'm gonna give you a reward. I'm gonna give you that video game that you want. Or I'm gonna give you them new shoes that you want, right? Okay, then let me finish this out though, real quick. Read.
And hunger.
So he said we were gonna go to our nations and hunger. When you want something to eat, where you gotta go? Do we gotta go to other nations? Or do we go to our own people to buy groceries? We go to our own people, so our own people own Walmart? All right, read that part again. Listen up, sis.
It's hunger.
He said we were going to go to our enemies and hunger, sis. So when you want something to eat, when you go to Walmart, Publix, this grocery, this gas station right here, sis, we don't own these. We don't own these stores. We don't own these stores, so when we want something to eat, we got to go to the other nations for it.
That's right.
That's one of the curses that we would have to do. Read.
Therefore shall I serve thine enemies in hunger and in thirst.
And in thirst. When at your house, right? You got to pay a water bill, right? Do we own that water company? Do we own that water company, sis? We don't own that water company. Another nation of people own that water company, right? They own that water company. When you want an Aquafina water and you go into the store to buy it, right? Who own that? Who own that Aquafina? Who run the company? The other people, right? Which he called what? He called them our enemies.
That's right.
Who we were sold to.
Right.
That happened to us. That's what God said.
Right.
He said we were going to go to our enemies and one of all things. For hunger, for something to drink, what else?
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness, them clothes that y'all got on. Do we own those clothes? We don't own those. We got to go to another nation for that. You see what I'm saying? You see, you got 100% cotton on our clothes that our ancestors picked.
Right.
They picked sun up to sundown. That was one of the curses. You see what I'm saying? We don't own those. You might got some people that might own the Texas, but they got to go to the other nations to get the cotton.
Right.
They don't clothes.
Right.
Just like P. Diddy.
Right.
He got a clothing line, right? You see what I'm saying? Just like Jesus. He got a clothing line, but he got to go to the other nations to get that texture,
right,
to get those materials, right?
Right.
He said we got to go to our enemies for hunger and in thirst and in nakedness, which is clothing. Read.
And in want of all things.
If you want an education, who you got to go to? What nation of people you got to go to? Right. Yeah, all right. If you have a child, right, you giving birth. Who's going to 9 out of 10? Who's going to be the doctor that's giving that birth? If you want a driver's license, what nation of people you got to go to? Right. If you want a birth certificate, you see what I'm saying? He said this is the curse that's going to happen to the Israelites, us, if we didn't obey God and keep his commandments. Those things happen to us. That's what's going on right now in this day and time, right? Jump verse 15, watch this.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So he said it's going to come to pass. He said if you don't hearken unto the voice of God, if you don't listen to him, read.
To observe and to do all his commandments.
So sis, he said if we don't observe and to do all his commandments, right? We got to be doing his commandments. We can't say we keep them and not doing them. You see what I'm saying? He said to do all his commandments, read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day.
He said even this day, he's still commanding us, sis, to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. You can see it by you looking around. You can look around and tell the curses is still up on us. But watch this. This is how you're going to know. Read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So he said because we didn't keep the commandments, sis, as being the chosen people. He said curses are going to come upon us. One of the curses is we're going to go into slavery on cargo slave ships. We're going to go to the other nations,
right,
in one of our things.
Right.
We're going to serve them. Read.
Verse 16. Curse shall not be in the city.
So he said curse, we're going to be cursed in the city, sis. He said we're going to be cursed in the city. It don't matter what city you go to, sis. You can go to New York, Chicago, California. You can go to Miami. When you go to the neighborhood where the black folks stay at, it look cursed. There's trash everywhere, abandoned buildings, houses burnt down, potholes all in the street. We stay in the worst condition. He said we were going to be what?
Cursed in the city.
He said we're going to be cursed in the city. Look at the city of Mobile. Who stay in the worst condition? We do. We stay in the worst condition, sis. He said that was going to be the curse. He said we're going to be cursed in the city, read.
And cursed shall not be in the field.
He said we're going to be cursed in the field. When we in the cotton field, sun up to sundown, our grandparents, he said that was going to be a curse that happened to us, sis. You see what I'm saying? Is that a truth? Did that happen? You see what I'm saying? That's how you know that we're the children of Israel.
Right.
That's how you know that this Bible is real, because that happened.
Right.
That happened to us. You see what I'm saying? I can't hear you.
She said, is our Bible different from the other Bible?
No, this is a King James version. You hear me, sis? This is a King James version. That's fine, that's fine. He can, as I was saying, if y'all got questions, we answer them. We family out here. We ain't out here to shame nobody. You know what I'm saying? We just out here to answer y'all questions. We out here for y'all.
That's all I had wanted to know.
Yeah, so that's what we try to show our people. We come out here. Y'all been watching the news about Kanye, right? And Yeezy, right? They've been getting in trouble. Why? Because they've been trying to speak what? Of who we are.
Right.
We the real Jews according to the Bible.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Jew is just short for chewed up. You see what I'm saying? Read that. Give me that. Jeremiah 14. We're going to show you what color are the Jews. We're going to show you what color are the Jews, right?
Bring it out.
So when you look over there in Israel, right? When you look over there in Israel, y'all listen. When you look over there in Israel or look on TV, you looking at the Jewish, right? You looking at they so-called Caucasian men, right? Right? We finna show you with the Bible what color are the Jews. What color are the real Jews. I'm finna let you go, Ching. Hold on, just listen.
The book of Jeremiah chapter.
Hold on. All right, let me show you what color are the Jews, though, real quick. Read.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 2. Judah mourned, and the gates thereof language. They are black.
What color are they?
They are black.
What color are the Jews?
They are black.
He said the Jews are black. So the ones that you see on TV and over there in Jerusalem, over there in Israel, those Caucasians, he said they are black. They not black. They pale. They like different shades of red. See?
Right.
They like different shades of red. He said the real Jews are black. The real Jews look like y'all, look like us. Y'all listening up, sis? Y'all listening up, sis? Deuteronomy 7:6.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6.
Sis, watch this, sis. Watch what God say about y'all.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
So the Lord said, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you are what?
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
He said, you are holy unto him. You separate from everybody else. He separate us. Read.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
He said he chosen you, sis. The Lord thy God has chosen y'all in that car. Read.
To be a special people unto himself.
He said he chose y'all, sis, to be a special people, sis, unto himself. Read.
Above all people that are above the face of the earth.
Look how special God said you are to him. Look how special he said y'all are to him. He said y'all are above all people that are on the face of the earth. You see what I'm saying? That's what God think about us. That's what he think about us. You see what I'm saying? Sis, check our flyer out, sis. You hear me, sis? Check our flyer out, though.
Hey, so the time.
Give
So
me
the time.
that again.
Hey,
The
tell
book
us
of
about us on
Deuteronomy
YouTube.
chapter 7 and verse 6.
In fact, give me Hosea 4 and 6. You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are God's chosen people. By us being his chosen people, we're required to do something.
Back into the city.
We're destroyed. We're destroyed. Give me that.
The book of Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
God said, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
She don't want the word of God either. She want to talk to
Our
them.
people destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Read. I'm going to close it out.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
He said, because we rejected knowledge, we reject God. We reject his laws, statutes, and commandments. Read.
I will also reject thee.
God said he going to reject you, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that don't want to repent and keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. He said he going to reject you, which means he, in due time, he's going to put you to death. Right. When he come back, he's going to put you to death.